I feel hip hop. Black Voodoo X pour les rendez-vous du Voodoo. Aujourd'hui, un black entrepreneur in Montreal City, world-known photograph, my main man, Naska Demini. My man.
Hello.
If I take my cell phone and I call Marcus Troy and ask him, talk to me in 3 seconds, who is Naska Demini? What would he say?
He would say, first thing he would say is that, oh, that's my twin brother. He always mentions that I'm his twin brother. And he would say that I'm a great photographer. Yeah.
And you think about photography, was it always in your blood?
I think I've always been a guy who's behind the scenes. I never wanted the limelight. I think Instagram kind of put me in the limelight, but I've always been behind the scenes. I've always been a bit nerdy, so into like graphics, go with my hands, building stuff. So photography was not always in the cards, but what I would say is that I've always been a creative. So photography has been like a natural progression from my creative mind to exploring what art is to me, and photography is kind of like my new way of expressing myself.
What does that represent to you?
Being black in Montreal? I think being a black entrepreneur in Montreal is difficult. Why? Because whenever you're black in any space, it's always a challenge to convince other people that you're worth what you're charging and the work output that you're going to give them. I feel like people have been burnt in the past by other maybe creatives or businesses that just happen to be black, and then they kind of label that on everyone. So whenever you're trying to convince a company or a brand to work with you, there's always a challenge because A, they want to pay you less than what they would pay your white counterparts, and B, they don't think you can do the job. And that's always a struggle, trying to work with other people outside of your own culture.
Ghostface Killer, Mary J. Blige, Celine Dion, I can name the names, Dominique Anglade. What is that voodoo moment? That moment back in time when you were a kid, you realized that, you know what? Hey, j'étais un excellent photographe. I can live and take great pictures.
I never looked at it as, I let the world decide what my work is like. I mean, I do believe in what I do, for sure, but I feel like it's important to have the world tell you that you're great before you start assuming it yourself, so to speak. When I started taking photos or creating images, people were like, wow, that's a great shot, that's a great image, that's really great. And I feel that helped build up my confidence into wanting to pursue it more. And I believe that with good work and good integrity, you're able to build better relationships with people. So the relationships such as like Ghostface or whoever else, you know, comes based on the trust that people give you based on the way you carry yourself every single day. So people don't realize that it's important not just to have good art or good work, but to actually be socially responsible, to have a good social footprint, the way you carry your Instagram, the way you carry on your stories. All these things play a direct role into how the world will perceive you. And since perception is always power, you have to wield that perception in a way that's going to make sure that everyone that sees you every single day gets a positive energy and vibe from you. So I think all of the people that I get to work with who are either high profile or regular people is a consequence of just being a good person overall.
So if you think about espace gris today, and you had to say just a quick definition of what espace gris means to you.
Espace gris as a studio, as a production house, as a studio is basically the gray area of creation. It's basically a blank slate in between black and white. It gives us the opportunity to kind of create what we want and create our own wave without depending on others to create it for us. That's how I would define espace gris.
Flipping to the other side. Great pictures on your Instagram.
Thank you.
Great pictures on your site.
Thank you.
It's all about black. You're turning that black color into like gold.
Thank you.
Talk to me about your style.
So, that's funny you asked that question. So sometimes as a photographer, I ask myself, is my feed looking too black? Is there too many black faces on my feed? Am I turning off potential clients who are white who don't see themselves on my feed? And then I said to myself, there's a lot of white photographers that I love who I appreciate, who exclusively shoot only black people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they don't ask themselves that question at all. They do it almost like, it's almost like a fetish. Like you have people that win awards off of black faces, black skins all the time. So I made a decision, not a conscious decision, but I wanted to photograph more of my own people. And if my feed or my website becomes a place where people just see black faces, it's all good. My style is very simple as far as no fancy colored backgrounds, things like that. I do it sometimes, but the black background is to put focus and emphasis on the face and the person I'm connecting to, and kind of have people, the audience, to kind of connect with the faces that they're seeing on a dark background. So black kind of like absorbs everything else, and you just focus on the eyes or the face or the shadows.
And the one particular picture that I saw, I brought tears to my eyes.
Wow.
Picture of your dad.
Yeah. Wow.
Brought tears to my eyes.
Thank you, man. So I'm a private person, and I think I get my privacy from my parents. They've always been private all their lives, and I don't know why. Maybe they're CIA, I don't know, but they've always been private, and I took that on, and I think it was a blessing in disguise, because when Instagram came about, everybody was all their business on social media, and I've just always been a private person. So the thing about my father is that, because of privacy, they didn't like taking pictures. So when he came to my studio, I'm like, yo, Dad, let me take your portrait. It was really like an honor that he was like, sure, you know, I know you do photos, let me take your photo. Let me sit for your photo. So it was definitely like a special thing to have in front of the camera. And once in front of the camera, he lit up. Like, he has his own ideas. Like, yo, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, oh, so you do like this. So it's kind of like an evolution of seeing him always not want to take pictures. And I think it's a black cultural thing, especially older generations. They don't want to be in photos. So that was a special moment.
C'est le temps du Sweet 6. If you could go back in time and talk 5 minutes to a key figure of black history, who would that be? 5 minutes.
Martin Luther King.
What's your greatest childhood memory?
Being in Trinidad with my whole entire family, visiting my grandmother.
Nice. If you had one more shot, the last shot in your camera, what would you take as a picture?
Picture of Barack Obama.
If I hand you my cell phone and ask you to call someone, and that person, you'll tell her or him, I love you, who would that person be?
My twin brother Marcus.
I love it. I'll give you 5 words. First thing that comes to your mind. First word, camera.
Strap.
I love that. I love it. Black.
Voodoo.
Marcus.
Troy.
Espace gris.
Creation.
And your dreads.
Locks.
For all the people watching us right now, what is the definition of the word passion for Naska Demini?
Passion is basically living out your existence with a purpose. So, you know, whether you create, whether you sing, whether you dance, whether you're a doctor, everything that you do is with a purpose, for not only for yourself but for helping others. So I think passion is a combination of what you can do for yourself and what you can also do for others.
I love it. Well said. Mr. Naska,
thank you for having me.
You went to the Sweet 6.
Thank you.
Dans les émissions du rendez-vous du Voodoo, j'aime laisser un gage de remerciement pour une personne que j'admire. J'ai beaucoup d'admiration pour ce que tu fais, Naska.
Merci. Thank you.
It's a gift.
Thank you. Can I open it now?
Pas 10 ans, open it.
Yeah. Wow.
Just for you and your brother.
Oh.
I remember when I went to Espace Gris.
We had a liquor cabinet, right?
Yes.
This looks like liquor, I think. I think it looks like liquor.
I don't know. I don't know.
I love gifts and surprises. This is super dope. Oh yes, a decanter. Oh, beautiful.
Oh my God.
Beautiful. Pat Design. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Thank you.
Thanks to you,
Pat. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is wonderful. Because now we gotta fight over who's gonna drink out of it. Who's gonna? No, we won't fight. Thank you so much.
Again, keep on doing what you do.
I appreciate that.
Because whatever you do, you make people happy, you make people shine. Again, the black comes out as gold.
Thank you.
Ça a beaucoup de valeur.
Thank you.
Moi, j'ai beaucoup d'admiration pour ce que tu fais. Mais le rendez-vous du c'est rencontrer des gens comme toi qui font différent dans la vie du quotidien de chacun d'entre nous. Keep on doing what you do.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Naska Demini dans les rendez-vous du Voodoo. One love, baby.
Merci.
Blessed.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yo, this is dope.